Hello and welcome. This is Sandra Hart again at Life Over 60. Today I am going to put the shoe on the other foot. It's been a wonderful summer here in Nashville with my son. And it's really going to be hard to say until we meet again. But I know all good things have to come to an end, and that I have to get back to reality and my life. And I am kind of missing the sound of the ocean and walks along the beach. Hello, welcome. This is Sandra Hart again. And if you are a woman who is getting older and you want to live the very best life ever, then this is the place to be. And I would love to have you subscribe and go on this journey with all of us. Now, if you remember, those of my subscribers who follow me, several weeks ago I put up a video on what qualities mature men like in mature women, and that makes them unforgettable. Well, today I'm going to switch it around and I'm going to put the shoe on the other foot. And we're going to talk about mature women and how they look at mature men and what qualities do they think make a man unforgettable. Now, this was not a hard one for me because I know that I'm married and I like certain qualities that my husband have, and that made him kind of unforgettable in my eyes. And if you have a lifetime partner or a husband and you can think back into what made him unforgettable in your eyes and made him the one for you, or if you have had a life partner, a husband, and he's no longer with you, you still have the memories of him and what has made him so unforgettable in your eyes. So today I'm going to give the things for me that made my husband and the person I chose to come along with me for the rest of my life, what made him so attractive to me. And then I want you in the comments below to let me know just what things attracted you to your husband or life partner or best friend, and what made him actually win you over. What were the qualities in your eyes that you saw in him that were so wonderful that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with him? Okay, let's start. And I'm going to reverse it a little bit. I am going to start with number 10. I'm going to give about 10 reasons. So I'm going to start with the number 10 first, and then I'm going to work my way up. Well, I think life experience, when you are in a marriage, a mature marriage, and I married my husband when I was 45. I met him when I was about 39. So I really respected his life experience. I knew that I would be going on a journey with someone that could relate to what I had lived and the times that I had lived and my generation. So I knew even though he was 13 years older, he was close enough to could understand just what I was all about. So to me, that was an important thing. The next one, I know you're going to laugh at this, he had to be a good driver. Because I don't know whether you have ever gotten into a car with someone who is in complete control and sits in the driver's seat and scares you to death. Well, I didn't want to have that fear for the rest of my life. So I really wanted him to be a good driver, that when I stepped in the car and when I was going to be going through life with him, getting groceries and traveling and doing other things, I wanted to be sure that I was pretty safe. So to me, that was kind of low on the list, but it really was important. Another thing, I really like to see a man who is neat and well dressed. I mean, he doesn't have to be in designer things. It's not about that. It's just that when he would come to pick me up, he always looked nice. He was always neat. He always looked put together, not over the top, but he really kind of matched who I was when we went out, because I know I have seen couples with wives that are absolutely stunning, and maybe their husband is running around in an old sloppy t-shirt and baggy jeans, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't fit. So that was one of the things that I really liked. And number 7, I really wanted someone who had good manners, who, when we went out to dinner, really knew what to do. And I know this sounds so chauvinistic or anti-chauvinistic. I know it does, but I'm old-fashioned. I really like it when my husband opens the door for me. And I really like it when a man opens a car door or walks in front of me and opens the door to a restaurant and lets me go through. I don't care. It has nothing to do with feminism. It's just good manners, because I know that I can open that door by myself. But it just makes me feel good to know that somebody thinks so much of me that he wants to make my way through the door a lot easier. So old-fashioned me, that really is very important. Another thing that was important for me, and this is number 6, I think, is that he really has to have a sense of humor. He's able to laugh at himself. He is able to go through life and not being so dour and woe is me and always complaining and always negative. Someone who has a positive attitude, who has a very good sense of humor. And I think they say that people who have good sense of humor, usually they live longer because they're happier, because they can see the funny side of life, and they can actually be self-deprecating, and they can laugh at themselves. And I think that really is so important, because when I was younger, I was so serious and I took everything so seriously. So my husband has really helped me to get out of that. So it's been a good relationship, because what he doesn't have, I have, and what he has, I don't have. So anyway, another thing that I think was really wonderful about marrying a man kind of near your age or in the same scope, that I know there are a lot of women out there who've married younger men and they love it, and it's a great relationship, and they're so, so happy. If that has happened to you, I think that's absolutely wonderful. But for me, my father was about 10 years older than my mother, so I was kind of used to that kind of a relationship. And my late husband was 10 years older than I am. I don't know. I'm just very comfortable with that age difference. So we have common interests. I mean, he can remember the things that I can remember, the music that I remember, the interests, and we can talk about things that are similar. I don't have to be thinking really, really young when I have conversations, because he and I are kind of on the same wavelength, and that has really helped our marriage, I think. All right, let me see. It's really important, and this is number 4, so we're getting up there. He has to have a really good moral compass. To me, that is so important. Someone who is honest, someone who will be faithful, someone who does the right thing not only for you, but to others. So someone who really has values in life that are similar to mine and has a good moral compass. And that's really very high on my list, because it's so important to have someone that you can trust in your life. Another thing is that someone who is thoughtful, kind, and again has kind of old-fashioned chivalry. Someone who is considerate of someone beyond themselves and is not a narcissist. In other words, my husband has been so wonderful, and I'm just talking, this is my personal thing. I'm just talking. He really is my best cheerleader. If you have seen any interviews that we have done together, he is always championing me, always boosting me up, making me feel good about myself. And I, in turn, because he does that for me, it makes me want to do that for him, to be his cheerleader when he needs it. So I think someone who is thoughtful of you and your feelings, who is interested in your life, and really wants well for you as a single human being, and has nothing to do with us being married. He wants you as a human being to do well and to be happy. And to me, that is such a terrific quality. And for a second marriage, because I had children, number 2 was really, really important to me. He had to like my children, because my children are a part of me, and they hopefully always will be a part of me. So whoever I wanted to bring into my life, they had to have a respect and love for my children, because that was one of the extremely important. My children and I had been alone for quite a bit, and their father was no longer alive, so it was important for me that whoever I brought into my life, he had to have a love and respect for my children. Now, if your husband is your childhood sweetheart before you had children, that wouldn't be in the equation at all. But I'm just speaking personally for me. He really had to love my children, and that was very high in my list. That was number 2. And I know you're going to be shocked when I say what was the number 1 thing that I always look for when I was dating or when I was thinking seriously about someone. He had to be good to his mother. Because if he was kind and considerate of his mother, that means then in all probability he would treat me the same in a marriage. If his father was good to his mother and respected his mother, and he grew up with those dynamics in his family, then I knew that in all probability he would carry on those dynamics with me. So the number 1 thing on my list was not a mama's boy. Don't confuse that with what I'm saying. When I could see how my husband, then boyfriend, took care of his mother and was respectful of his mother and was kind to her, then it was a pretty good sign that in our marriage he also would treat me the same. So that's it. About, I think, 11 things there were there. So now, would you please think about it? Make a list of maybe about 10 things or less. It doesn't have to be 11. And let me know, in your relationship, in your marriage, in your companionship, or in a man that you deeply respect, what are the qualities that attracted you to him? And if you are looking to get married again, or if you are looking to keep your strong, strong marriage alive, what are the things that you think are so important in him that keeps you staying in love with him? That's it. So we have switched it around, and we're letting the men know what we think as mature women are unforgettable traits in them that we love and has made them a lucky guy to be able to get us to marry them. All right, thank you so much, and don't forget, I hope you do really be kind to yourself today. Do something really good or kind to whomever crosses your path. Share the love. And I want to thank all of you for coming on this journey with me. This will be the last video boo-hoo that I'm making in Nashville. I am going to be I've been here over 3 months, and I'm very sad to leave Nashville and my son and grandchild and my lovely daughter-in-law, but life has to go on, and I have things that I have to take care of back home, and I'm anxious to see my husband. So the next video you will see after this, I should be in sunny South Beach with my feet in the water and my sand in the toes. I mean my toes in the sand. So, see, I'm so excited. So anyway, thank you again. I love you all, and I hope to see you in my next video.
Give it up, 'cause there is some hidden love, hidden love, hidden love.